And agriculture, in my view, is one of the best places to be in the next 30 years. I mean, all these people getting MBAs are making terrible mistakes as far as I'm concerned. They should be getting farming degrees.
So you would be buying agriculture-related stocks or perhaps agri-commodities at this point?
Absolutely. Agriculture has been a disaster for 30 years. I think that agricultural products are going to be one of the best investments over the next several years. I think that agriculture is going to be one of the best industries in the world. As I said, all the people who got MBAs made mistakes. They should have been getting agricultural degrees.
Let me go back to the point you raised about currency convertibility. You think the environment in India is conducive to allow the currency to be fully convertible at this point?
Of course it is. I mean, India's been an extraordinary success over the past 30 years. You know, this is not 1957. This is not 1960 anymore. This is 2010. You have gigantic foreign currency reserves. You have gigantic debt, too, which is another reason that I worry about India. But what's the point of having currency controls in 2010, especially if India or any nation wants to be a major player on the world economic scene? What are they afraid of? They're afraid people might take their money out of India? Of course they might. But some people might put their money into India, too. I have never heard of people I've heard of people trying to smuggle their money out of countries with exchange controls. Nobody ever tries to smuggle their money into a country with exchange controls. I mean, it's ludicrous. If they had an open free flow of capital, a lot more people would bring money into India, including me.
How concerned are you about the debt position? Because globally, every country today has debt. Just the amount pretty much varies. But India's got debt with growth. I mean, is that a premium that you can offset against the debt to GDP ratio perhaps in a market like India?
I'm extremely worried about it. India's debt to GDP is coming up to 90%. There have been many studies which show that once you get to 90% of debt to GDP, it impinges your growth going forward forever until you solve that problem. I mean, this is not an opinion. These are facts which have been documented several times, and that's one of the major negatives for India as far as I'm concerned. Back to your politicians, I mean, run up these gigantic debts, which are not good for India. It's good for them, but it's not good for India. It's not good for Indians. But they've done it. That worries me a great deal. Look, I don't have any investment. I have very few investments in the United States because it's got gigantic debt problems. The UK, I have no investments in the UK. If I take that back, my only investments in the U.S. are I've sold short. I've sold short in the U.S. and I own the currency. But the U.S. is a disaster. The UK is a disaster. All these countries that have run up gigantic debts on the backs of their citizens in the past 2 or 3 decades are not in good shape now.